Dave Sussman at CPAC, and we are with the wonderful and talented Ricky Rebel. Ricky, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
First year.
First year.
What are you
first
thinking?
time. It's really fun. It's really fun.
Not overwhelming?
It was at first. The first day was overwhelming. This one, I know how to ride the bike a little better.
Okay.
I'm taking off the training wheels.
All right, so I was hanging out over down there, and I heard this huge uproar, this huge noise going on. There was some kind of chant. You want to tell us what it was?
We staged our own pride parade here at CPAC. We were yelling, "Gays for Trump! Gays for Trump!" And it sounds so much better when 3 people are doing it, not just one. It's nice.
So there was a total of 3?
Total of 3.
There was a big crowd.
No, I mean like 3 people who were chanting that and we have a bunch of cameras around us too.
Right.
But your voice is more amplified with other voices.
Yeah.
It's kind of like,
so is this your first big conservative convention of some type?
Yes. No, I went to the
Politicon.
Value Summit.
Okay, I don't know how many people are there, but there's thousands here.
Voter Value Summit, but this is bigger.
Okay, so the stereotype of conservative media or of conservatives by liberals is that there's zero. We don't have the ability to welcome everybody, no matter what. Let's start with race and gender and sexuality.
Right.
Are you finding that at all here? Are you seeing any homophobic?
Not one.
Messages at all?
Not one message, not one nasty comment, but that's more than I could say for the other side. I've gotten a huge backlash, well, not a huge backlash, about 10% of vile hatred coming from actually the LGBT community and the radical left. I mean, there are LGBT out there who are in the closet Trump supporters, and they congratulated me for doing the Grammys look. But there's some out there who are just vile.
Okay, so for folks that are just checking in, Ricky Rebel, who you joined us on our radio show last week, and that was fantastic, a couple of segments there. Ricky Rebel was at the Grammys. He is a pop singer, and he's played with Madonna and 98 Degrees, and what's the other ones?
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears, okay. So the guy is obviously up there in the stratosphere, and he showed up on the Grammy red carpet, and tell us what happened.
Well, I showed up and I revealed my outfit. At first it was all white, and then I opened the jacket and it said, "Keep America Great." And I turned it around and I flipped it over and it said Trump 2020, and they lost their minds. Basically.
So I watched this, right? And you and I talked about this on the show. There was like a 5 Mississippi of stunned silence. Right? You had all of the photographers and everybody screaming out the different stars, and it was just like you heard crickets.
Well, what's great
right?
is like this red carpet is just like the Grammys. It was like really long. It goes all the way down. The first round was more of the visual people on their, it's like CNN and NBC, Fox, and on the video.
Right.
So they got to see me do the video reveal. But these paparazzi were on the other side. They didn't get to see me do all of that. So that's why they gasped, because they weren't expecting it.
So the message from you, as a pop singer, as somebody that is obviously out on 2 fronts.
Right.
You're out, obviously, sexuality-wise, which most people don't care about, and you're out as a conservative. Which of the 2 was harder for you as a human being coming out?
Without a doubt, it was being pro-Trump. Being pro-Trump was the hardest thing. I've lost so many friends, so many great people around me that I cared about the most. It's ironic, but the people that love you the most, who've supported you the most, are the ones that reject you the hardest.
So you've taken some incoming. You see it on social media. You see it with friends. So what is your message to them?
My message is, if you really believe in diversity and you claim to be all about diversity, then you should be for diversity of thought. That's number 1, diversity of thought. The left wants you to look different but think exactly the same. And I just don't think like them. I can't be on board with that. I can't be on board with open borders and socialism and communism. I'm a free market capitalist. I love hiring my dancers and musicians. That's not going to change. And that's it.
So let us know. Okay. Your clique, your friends, your groups that you hang out with, and I know you've got lots of different friends varied across different groups.
Right.
Is there a private discussion that takes place with you, besides the folks that are outwardly hateful, okay, of anybody that's conservative? Do you hear any messages from any friends that are like, yeah, I just wish I was as brave, or anything like that?
Oh, I hear that all the time.
What do they say?
All of the time. They said, "Hey, secretly, I love Trump too, but I can't come out because if I do, I'll lose my job." all the time.
What do you say to them?
I say, I think that you should start to have conversations with people and try to tell them that you voted for Trump or that you're a conservative and try to normalize it. We need to make it more just who cares.
Yeah.
It needs to be, that's why I did what I did, because there are 60 million Americans out there who voted for Trump. So obviously there's something about him and his message that we are gravitating towards, and they have no respect for that. So we got to make it more normal and less like a big deal. Yeah, he wore that at the Grammys. He wore a pro-Trump jacket, but he's thriving. And it's really important for me to succeed right now. It's very important because we have to prove that a open-minded singer like me who comes out is actually succeeding. That's so important. Because if I fail, then they're going to make it like, well, see, he failed. You can't, all of you singers out there, all of you actors out there, you're not allowed to come out, because if you do, you will be like Ricky Rebel. You won't have a career, because that's what they're banking on. And that's what they're talking about. They're talking behind my back in Hollywood. They're trying to say, oh, well, he lost his career. On the contrary, my following has tripled. I'm going to be headlining the Built in America Festival in Las Vegas in November for 25,000 people.
Wow.
Okay? So, not to mention all the speaking engagements I'm going to get, and I'm going to tie in my music with all of those things too. So, it pays to tell the truth. It pays to be an alpha. It pays to be
and that's the name of your newest album.
It is. It's called The New Alpha. Yeah.
The New Alpha. So find Ricky Rebel online. If you want to hear more, Ricky joined us for a really great interview earlier on. So find that on our YouTube channel as well as whiskeypolitics.net, and follow this man. If you don't know who he is, check him out. I said this to you last week on the radio show. I'm not a big fan of pop music. I really liked your music.
Wow.
I mean, it was very, very good. It wasn't your typical stuff that you hear in I don't know. I just liked it. I thought it was very good. So,
thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And we'll be right back from CPAC. Dave Sussman here. Thanks again, Ricky Rebel.
Absolutely. Thank you.